This is absolutely unbelievable. Credit card companies are now actively banning certain types of games on the popular Steam platform, specifically those that are considered spicy games or games that prominently feature more mature and adult situations. This development raises significant questions about censorship and consumer choice. Go ahead and share your thoughts and comment below. Do you genuinely think this is the right approach for these financial institutions to take, banning games within a platform? Or do you think no, that they should be allowed? And maybe it's up to the parents to monitor what their kids play, and you should have the freedom to choose whatever games you want? Anyway, let's explain the whole situation. Leave your comments below. Once again, our channel contributor will share his point of view, I'll share mine, and then we'll come to a conclusion and of course with your input in the comments, alright? Let's get right to it, and remember, at the end I'll leave his channel link in the video description so you can subscribe. It's really worth subscribing to Peter's channel. Let's go! 3, 2, 1, and go now!
This is Ankapsu, and now we're going to talk about Steam, which is removing some games claiming they're pornographic, right, on the platform. And people are complaining about censorship. Why? Because some games are considered pornography by some people, while others don't see them that way. So what happened? An Australian anti-pornography group has, well, made a petition to credit card processing companies saying they need to ban this type of game and so on. And as a result, Steam has been banning these types of games because of credit card processing. If Steam keeps the game, they lose credit card processing, which is a way people used to buy games on Steam, right? Well, so let's go ahead and see how serious this is. Basically, just imagine you have Visa, Mastercard. Do you know anyone who prefers to pay by card? Because sometimes paying upfront is better, right? But if you can split it into installments, that's even better. Do you know that kind of person? So imagine you're trying to buy a game, and then the card operator, say Visa, Mastercard, Amex, whatever. Then you go there and like these operators say, look, if you make certain games available, I'm going to remove the option for users to pay by credit card, not just for those games, but for all of them, so you lose a payment method.
Look how incredibly serious that situation is. And this, the very eyes of these dedicated operators were truly opened by a certain influential group that went and meticulously made a formal petition. Subsequently, these operators wholeheartedly bought into and fully embraced the cause, and now they are actively there, like compelling and forcing Steam, right? Then Steam thinks, wow, but if I allow it, I lose the payment method, and suddenly there's a number, like 75% pay by credit card. So, are you gonna lose those 75%? So look at the level we've reached. Also, do you think this is censorship or not? Comment below. I already have my opinion, I'll share it in a bit.
For those who don't know, Steam is a gaming platform for computers. You install it on your PC or Mac, and you can play a variety of games there within Steam, right? And so these games are paid, you have to pay for the games, but yeah, if you don't have access to a credit card, Steam can't make the sales. So that's what they're complaining about. And here comes the big question. Is this censorship, or is this a legitimate decision by the platform? If they don't want to sell pornographic games, do they have the right not to sell pornographic games? Let's break down this topic here. This news was suggested by Nada Conte Sefe, Joada Picana, Ribon, and several other people. Thanks to everyone who suggested news on our website, visonlibertari.com, and thank you for watching our video. If you enjoy our content, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, okay? So what happened? Steam is removing adult games because of restrictions from credit card companies, right? From the credit card payment processors. So here, Steam has recently started to ban games that violate the rules and payment standards of payment processors and banks. Many people see this move as a form of censorship, predominantly affecting adult games, right? And then they mention here that a lot of people are saying, man, this is absurd. Because nowadays, payment processors like PayPal, Visa, and Mastercard have a huge amount of power due to the fact that basically everything goes through them, right? So countries all over the world use these processors. So if someone decides to limit something, there's no way to avoid this kind of thing. That wouldn't be censorship, because actually, even though they're not state entities, they're monopolistic entities worldwide, right? But that's what I want to tell you. That's the beauty of the market. Yeah, the market seeks to make money. So, as much as this is really very bad at first, I agree it's a terrible thing for the game developer, it's terrible and all that. But I'm sure that other gaming platforms will eventually emerge, specifically focused on freedom of expression that allow for different kinds of games.
Ah, and you know, right? And also, for God's sake, I think if there are minors using the platform, it's the parents who should be supervising. Because when you go to buy the game, it's right there for ages 18 and up. Who's the one making it available for minors to buy? When you go to sign up for a platform like Netflix, for example, or Disney Plus, don't they have parental controls? So you have to use parental controls. If the parents are incompetent at supervising their child, does that mean everyone else has to suffer for it? I'm not saying that I play that kind of game or anything like that. In fact, there are some types of games that are even kind of disgusting, but the point is freedom, right? If there are people who like it and it's available, then it should be used. Now, are the credit card companies supposed to play the role of the parents? I made a video about Elon Musk and Grok, who released the avatars. Some are more controversial, some are more, there are the affectionate women, so to speak, who sometimes might even go a bit too far. But anyway, again, if the person is of legal age, the tool is available, they use it. If a minor is using it, then we need to protect them. The ones we need to protect are the parents who gave their child a phone and even let them install Grok. So for me, it's not the carriers who should be monitoring something that parents are supposed to monitor, right? But then the parents are on their phones and they give the phone to their kid just to get them to stop making noise and being a nuisance, right? So that's it, right? Basically, right? In my opinion, right? Let's keep going. I want to know yours. Leave a comment because this topic isn't easy.
Man, this is going to make money, man. And wherever there's money, it's automatically going to attract people to that place. Oh, but you can't pay with a credit card. Yeah, you'll have to pay with Pix or Bitcoin or some other cryptocurrency, something like that. But nowadays you can find payment methods that don't involve those credit card companies, that don't involve the dollar directly.
There are modern payment options, right? Like Boleto.
So that's the beauty of it, because the free market adjusts itself. If it's an unfair ban, a separate market will definitely emerge, and that will create the following dilemma. As soon as these companies start to realize they're losing money, look, wow, I'm following this credit card rule, and the credit card companies are losing money because of it. In the end, both Steam's operator and the credit card companies will end up going bankrupt.
And it will open the door for another competitor. And you know what? This has already happened. I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong, but what happens? People started to get really concerned, like, oh, now let's do home office. Let's work from home. Let's save money. Do you know what happened? I believe in a hybrid system, even though since 2015 I've been working here at my home, in the office I set up at home. But I believe that the ideal would be something hybrid, like, oh, do you work 5 days a week? 3 days at home, 2 days at the office. Do you work 6 days a week? 4 days at home, 2 days at the office. Human contact is very important. Whenever I can schedule an in-person meeting, I do, just to get out of the house a bit, have some human contact, that's important. Besides that, there's also the environment. Every company has to have a green seal, environmental certification, and so on. Of course, you have to protect the environment, right? That's not even the issue. The point is that you have to find a genuine way to do it. Not just to get the check mark, the little seal. Anyway, and you can't bankrupt the company, right? It's a capitalist world. If the company doesn't make a profit, it goes under. If it goes under, it stops providing jobs. If it stops providing jobs, there's unemployment. So there has to be a balance there. So what started happening? Companies started calling people back to the office. The companies that didn't have well-structured environmental campaigns have already changed their minds. They're already going back to how things were before, right? So, like, you're in a capitalist world, so when they go there and lose money because they're not serving the customers who want to buy that kind of product, another company will come along, make money, and might even manage to invent a new way, or, what might happen. Another card operator company, maybe a smaller one that already exists, or some smaller digital bank, will simply jump into this fight, right? They'll take up this cause, right?
In the end, right? So I don't worry about that kind of thing. This might seem like a bad thing at first. I'm not saying it isn't. It will end up causing issues in several games. A lot of games will lose significance. you might have a game that you can't play on Steam anymore, can't buy on Steam anymore, but in the long run, this isn't sustainable. You can also look at it another way, okay? Because there are parents who are concerned about their children seeing pornographic games on Steam. Actually, all of this started with an anti-pornography group in Australia that contacted credit card companies to complain about this, right? I don't know why this would be irrelevant, because the truth is, if someone wants to look for pornography on the internet, they'll find it, my friend. They'll find it in games, they'll find it on websites, they'll find it everywhere.
That's it. That's it. And another thing, what exactly is a spicy game? What is a game that has crossed the line, you know? Like, that's really subjective. Very subjective. And just to remind you, parental control is Steam implementing in some way, if it doesn't already have ETA control, so that, like, if the person is underage, if they're not of legal age, it doesn't even show up there. They can search, but it won't even show up. That's something the parent should do, father, the mother. You shouldn't delegate that to the provider. Now the credit card company is going to take care of your child? Come on, that's a joke, right? But leave a comment below. I want to know your opinion. Just a reminder, if you're interested in topics related to artificial intelligence technology and sometimes some controversial subjects, I'll leave this video here for you so you can keep watching with me. Actually, it's a few videos, a playlist with this kind of topic. Not exactly this one, but more about technology and artificial intelligence. All right? I'll see you in that video. Remember, leave your comments so we can keep the conversation going, all right? That's it. See you in the next video. See you soon.